I honestly hate days when this happen, whereby my internet all of a sudden is just moving like doing crap. But like I said, guys, we are here, we are live, and we are doing a watch along, and the watch along is between United versus Newcastle. Ipswich are playing Chelsea, as well as Aston Villa are facing Brighton Albion, and I'm going to be expecting nothing else but a good game of football because I think we are going to have a good game. We're keeping an eye on every game that has been played. I'm sure we're going to see good football being played tonight. And it's going to be very, very nice to see what Ruben Amorim have actually, the team he has gone with. Because Marcus Rashford is back in the team. And for me, if you ask me, my own opinion, I don't know. I don't know. He could be back in the team and maybe does not get a single minute. You know, we've seen the like of Alejandro Garnacho. He has been back in the team for how long? And did he get game time? He has also coming from the bench. He has been coming from the bench. But one thing I will say is this, man. I was not really expecting Marcus Rashford to be back in the team as yet because I was thinking, in my own opinion, I believed Marcus Rashford was not going to play a single game, probably till he leaves the club. But Marcus Rashford is back on the team. But he's going to start from the bench. And I guess we have to wait and see what end up happening. Is he coming back into the team as a way of going out of the club? Or is he coming back to stay? Now, the reason why I was against Marcus Rashford coming back into the team is because of the fact that Rashford can come back in the team and before you know it, Rashford might play today, scores a goal, and the next thing you will hear is he's back. Don't sell him. He's back. Because this is something we've been seeing. It's not just something we are seeing today. We have been seeing this same consistent thing with Marcus Rashford. Like, it does not make any sense to me whereby you have a player like Marcus Rashford in your team that has played roughly 10 seasons. 10. And guys, if I go and check those guys, 87 goals. And this is what I've been talking about. When you talk about Marcus Rashford not being good enough, people want to kill you. They want to tell you how he's the messiah of United. But for me, he's not good enough. For me, a lineup, Marcus Rashford is not good enough. And I think as soon as it will be possible for Manchester United to get rid of him, the better for that team. You know, another player I think they need to get rid of is what's his name? Bruno Fernandes. Honestly. But will they do it? I don't know. I guess we are going to wait to see if that end up happening. And like I said, I'm going to be keeping an eye as well between the game between Chelsea versus Ipswich. I'll be keeping an eye on Aston Villa versus Brighton as well. So we are in it for tonight, man. So let me just call out the lineups for the guys doing the business for every team tonight. Interestingly, I would say the team Chelsea have gone with, I'm not actually surprised that Enzo Maresca have gone with the team he went with, you know, because you had the likes of players that are not really performing, they are not delivering on the pitch. So I understand where this is actually coming from. So for Manchester United, you've got the likes of what's his name? You have Andre Onana in goal for Man U, and you have a back three of Matthias De Ligt, Harry Maguire, and Lisandro Martinez. In the midfield, you've got Mazwari, Casemiro, Ericsson, and Diego Dalot. Now, what I will say here is this, man. And I've been saying for a very long time, guys. People are taking it on a player whereby he's playing a position that is not his. Because for me, I think what they could actually do is encourage the dude. Because this guy is playing a position that is not his own. Encourage the guy. And sometimes it's not his fault he gets being picked to play the game. But going forward now, you have Ahmad and Joshua Zexi. Those are the two tens. And you have Rasmus Højlund up front as the lone striker. Now, it's funny how people want to say Ruben Amorim actually prefers Zexi to Garnacho. Now, the thing is this, man. One thing I will say is this. Alejandro Garnacho as a 10, I don't think he can play as a 10. Honestly. I do not think he can play as a 10. And the same thing for Rashford as well. I don't think they can play as a 10 because all these guys, all they know is they've been playing as a winger. So for me, I think it's kind of like sudden where you want to, force them not to play as a what's it called? A 10. It's not something that can be easily done. So for me, I would say the only place I think Alejandro Garnacho can still try to do something for himself, I think is on the wing. Probably a right wing back or the left wing back. But if there's something I've seen with Ruben Amorim, Amorim does not want to play Garnacho there. And for me, I know people might not really want to just accept that possibility. I honestly believe that Ruben Amorim will look to sell Garnacho as well, not just Rashford. I think Garnacho as well will leave United. For me, in my own opinion. So, and for Newcastle, you've got Dubravka in goal for Newcastle. Then you have a back four of Lewis Hall, Dan Ball, Fabian Schär, and Trippier. Now, going forward, you have Bruno Guimaraes as the lone pivot. Then you have a 210 of Joelinton. You have 210 of Joelinton and Sandro Tonali. Going forward, you have Murphy, Anthony Gordon, and Isak. And one thing we cannot deny is that Isak, not just Isak, man, like the old Newcastle team, have actually been balling this season, man. Which is why, for me, I think it's going to be a shock if United end up winning this game. Honestly. I honestly believe if United end up beating Newcastle tonight, man, I'll be stunned. Because for me, I honestly believe that, I've said this, that I don't think it's going to happen because Newcastle have been in a very, very good form, guys. They've been in a very, very good form. And I don't expect that form now to drop against United because I honestly believe that 3 points is there for the taking. Except, something crazily happens. But if I would actually, say something about that game right now. I think United are going to lose the game. But football is not played on paper. Because on paper, you could say it looks as if Newcastle is going to win it. But football, as we all know, is not played on paper. Which is why you would still want to give United that chance of probably doing something. But for me, I think it's a no-no. I think Newcastle are going to win this one easily for me. Now, Chelsea versus Ipswich. The lineups for the teams, you have Walton in goal for Ipswich. Then they are playing a back four of O'Shea, Grievous, Woodfording, and Davies. Those are the back four doing the business for Ipswich. Now, in the midfield, you have a two pivot of Mossy and Kajuste. Going forward, you have Bonds, Orchison, Broadhead, and Liam Delap. Now, Liam Delap is one of player whereby has been linked to so many clubs already. He has been linked to so many clubs already. But I guess we just have to just end up to wait and see if something's going to happen. And for Chelsea, Chelsea are playing. You have in goal, Jegorson. Then you have a back four of Mark Cucurella, Levi Colwill, Adarabio. Then you've got Disaster. I call him Disaster, but actually it's Disasi. So they have a two pivot of Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. Going forward, you have Madueke, Kopama, and Jao Felix. And the long guy up front in Christopher Nkuku. Now, I'm not surprised that Nkuku have actually come into the team because for me, like I said on the previous watch along, I said it seems Nicholas Jackson have been terrible, man. He has been terrible for me, in my own opinion. He has been terrible. So, what I would say is this, man. I think it's a good one. Like I would say, I think it's a good one. But what I would say is I hope Christopher Nkuku gets to take the opportunity by because sometimes it's not about getting the game time or about being given the opportunity to start games. It's about you starting the game, and it's also about you taking chance of it. Because I believe if what's his name? If Nkunku can actually do well in this game, maybe score one or two goals, I believe in the next game he might start a game because I'm sure the manager wants to win games. He wants to win games. And since he wants to win games, you would play the player that gets you the goals that wins your game. And that is something Nicholas Jackson have not done in the last how many games? He hasn't. You know, maybe this is some of the reason why, what's his name? This is the reason why, what's his name? Enzo Maresca said Chelsea are not in the title race. You know, that could be one of the reasons, guys. But because it just showcased there's a lot of inexperience in that team. Because Chelsea have had some good games whereby if they actually took their chances, like the game against Fulham, the game against Everton, you know, these were games whereby the point was there for the taking. Like you had maybe 6 points to what they have right now. I think they are close to Liverpool. But what happened? Anything. But with that being said, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to write them off completely because, guys, the system is a system because the season is still very much long, guys. The season is still very, very, very much long. So that will be something to just watch out for, man. Now, in the game between Brighton versus Aston Villa, Now my internet is moving crazily, guys. The game between Brighton and Aston Villa, you've got in goal Emiliano Martinez for Aston Villa. Now, this guy called Emiliano Martinez is another criminal, guys. This is another criminal because this guy have been winning the best keeper in the world for how long? And yet, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't think he actually deserves winning that award, man. I don't think so. The one he just won recently, I don't think he deserves it. I think Looney should be taking that award. That award belongs to Looney, but they give it to him. And one thing about Argentina, they don't say no to titles they know very well that they don't deserve to get. They don't say no to it. they come outside and take it anyway. Now, you have Emiliano Martinez in goal. Then you have a back four of Konsa, Carlos, Diego Carlos, and Pau Torres and Lucas Dinian. In the two pivots, you've got Kamara and Yuri Tillemans. Going forward, you have Bailey, John McGinn, Morgan Rogers, and John McGinn. Now, we know in the last 2-3 games, what's his name? That red card that was given to John Duran, I'm sorry, there is no way that should be a red card. There is no way. Where was he supposed to put his leg? But yet again, it's just something we see always in the Premiership with their stupid officiating and terrible calls. So, the fact that John Duran is out has given an opportunity for Oli Watkins to start the game. And for Brighton, you've got Verbruggen in goal. Then you have a back four of Igor, Louis Dunk, Van Aken, and Lapti. They are playing a two pivots of Baliba and Ayari. Going forward, because they are playing a 4-2-3-1 formation. Going forward, you've got Andingra, you've got Gruda, Encinso, and the longer up front, João Pedro. It will be interesting to see how this game goes. It will be interesting to see how this game goes. I don't understand why is my keep disconnecting, man. It's crazy, man. Moving in a crazy way, as usual. Um, that is Ruben Amorim being interviewed right there. Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim on the wheel. Like most United fans will say, Ruben Amorim on the wheel. Like man, this is something you are going to see. You're going to see this. Like this is something that this is why I'm saying this guy have got an incredible job to do at his hand, man. Ruben Amorim, because guys, man, like they will never make a job easy for you. The English media and the press, they will never make a job easy for you. Already, the game haven't started as yet. Already, you've got camera already on Marcus Rashford. Like the game haven't started as yet, but already there's camera all over Marcus Rashford. Now, I'm sure they'll be asking too many questions. He's going to play. He's going to get game time. Blah, blah, blah. Like they all do. You know. They will keep asking, is going to play? And that's pretty much, that is the media for you. That is the media, which is why, for me, I was also saying if I was, what's his name? Man, I would take my time to bring Rashford into the squad. Honestly, I will make that decision, to leave him there. But let's see what is going to end up happening if he's going to play. It will be interesting to see, guys. It will be interesting to see. Look at this guy, Phil Jones. God, Phil Jones, the criminal. That guy was another player that robbed United. Is that guy called Phil Jones? Like, how on earth is Phil Jones on Sky Sports? How on earth is Phil Jones on Sky Sports? Like, what does he even have to say? Because this guy is also another player, that killed the club financially. Because he kept any money and yet he was not really available to play games. But yet again, Sky Sport have gone to bring him to the match of the day. It's fun. If it's actually fun to see United practicing corner kick. But like, what do these guys? What do they do in the? What do they actually do in the training ground? Because all the stuff they are doing here is something they should be doing in the training ground. You do your training in the training ground, not on the pitch. You should be practicing set piece, practicing corner kicks in the pitch. In the training ground, not on the pitch. Arsenal did not get goals doing that on the pitch, which I don't really understand. Look at Onana coming out right now to take the ball. Oh man, I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting for Onana to. I'll be waiting for Onana to, to do it inside the game. I'll be waiting for Onana to do it in the game. Oh my, internet is moving crazily this night. I don't understand this internet today, man. It's moving crazily. Michael Owen. Guys, bear with me though. My internet is just moving crazily tonight, man. I don't understand. Well, the game for Chelsea have started. We have they've played 8 minutes so far, and it's still 0-0. Also in the feature between Aston Villa and Brighton, still 0-0 as well. Over the air. Well, the United game will start any moment from now. I think we've got basically extra just 4 minutes for the game to commence. But one thing I don't want to, I will say is this, man. The job Amorim is doing at United, man, is going to be a crazy job. And I know not many people will really want to, call it for what it is. But honestly, man, that guy has a job to do. Because, man, for me, I don't think it's easy. I don't think any manager should be going through what Ruben Amorim is going through. But yet again, it is something he actually, signed up for. You know, because sometimes this is why it's always nice to come into a club at the end of the season. Whereby you come into the team, you get your own signings, You take them for preseason. Like you have everything under control. Not this shit show he has to endure. Sometimes most of these players are not even his players. Wow, Ipswich. Wow, Ipswich have just scored. Is Ipswich 1, Chelsea 0. Ipswich are leading Chelsea by a goal to nil. A penalty. The goal was scored by Liam Delap. Man, it's crazy. Are Chelsea crumbling? Honestly, bro. Are Chelsea crumbling? Because I think we were too fast to say, yeah, look at Chelsea now. Look at Chelsea now. Bro, Chelsea, I think they are showing us that recolor right now. Wow. And Brighton have also scored. So Brighton are also leading Aston Villa 1-0. Interesting. Game on, people. Game on. Honestly, if you ask me, I don't know how Brighton scored their goal, but I'm actually keeping an eye on the Ipswich versus Chelsea game. Now, for me, I think from here on, it becomes really, really, really interesting, guys. Really interesting. Really interesting. Wow. From here, guys, now the game is actually really interesting, people. Yeah, and the main game is about to start. The main game that we are here for. Ruben Amorim. I'm sorry, I slander the name sometimes, man. It's Ruben. Let me just keep it to Ruben. I think I'll just stick to Ruben. Let me just call him Ruben. Let's see. Now, this is why I've been asking some guys, my guys, I've been asking them, like, what's his name, Vegeta? Oh, let's ask him. I say, Vegeta, are you worried about Kobe? Now, the game of comments, guys. Whenever I ask, are you worried about Kobe? He will say no. He thinks he will play. But me, whenever I ask the question, it's because, guys, man, I've looked at the team, and for me, I have not really seen him being. He has not had that goal, that game time, like he did under Eric Ten Hag. He hasn't. And that was why I asked the question, are you worried for this guy? Let me just change this real quick, guys. Brighton leading 1-0 against Aston Villa. And surprisingly, but sometimes this is what you want to see. You want to see stuff like this. Then it makes you ask that question: is there something Chelsea needs to change? Did they need to go into the transfer market to guys buy one or two strikers or one or two players? But what I would say is this, guys, man, and is the fact, man, honestly, because Manchester United were actually doing well when they had Eric Ten Hag at the club. Sorry, when they had what's his name, um, Ruud van Nistelrooy. They were doing well because Ruud van Nistelrooy was playing Casemiro along with Ugarte, and that gave them that stability in the midfield. Well, it is the question right now is how many goals does Manchester United conceive today? Because already it is Newcastle 1 and United 0, and we have all played 5 minutes. I know I was one of those guys that was actually saying sack Ten Hag. I was one of them. I said it. I was saying sack Ten Hag. I was saying sack Ten Hag. And for me, I still stand by that decision. I think sacking Ten Hag was the right thing to do. I don't lie to you guys. I honestly believe do. I don't lie to you guys. I honestly believe sacking Ten Hag was actually, but yet again, these guys they made a very big mistake. And the mistake they made was actually keeping Ten Hag in the first place. Because if they have sacked him in the season, immediately he got the job. If they had sacked him, then Ruben Amorim would have come into the club and they would have used the same amount of money they splashed on on Ten Hag. They would have used it to back Amorim. It's funny, eh? Very funny. Like I said, I'm wearing a guy, dude. That man has a job to do. Like honestly, he has a job to do. He has a job to do. But the question I'm sure some United families will be asking themselves is, like, how did they get themselves here? How did they find themselves in this situation? Because I honestly believe that if they, you know, if they have gotten rid of Glazers, because honestly, guys, I know people will go in on Enos, Sergeant Ratcliffe, and them. But guys, the offside. Yeah, Chelsea are back into the game. It's 1-1. Jao Felix. Jao Felix does score for Chelsea, and that's a very good assist from Kopama as well. Very good assist from Kopama. So, game on Chelsea, it's 1-1. 1-1. Chelsea are back into the game. Let's see if they can take over the game from here going forward. But what a goal! That's a good goal for Joao Felix. And game. When you score goals right now, you have to celebrate. You don't celebrate. You have to wait and see if VAR comes into play or blah blah blah. It's just annoying, man. Honestly, or blah blah blah. It's just annoying, man. Honestly, it's not nice to see. Whereby you score a goal as a player, then you have to wait for minutes to celebrate a goal you score. Because you might celebrate the goal, and the next thing, the goal might get chopped off. Like we have even seen the likes of Richarlison. Richarlison celebrated a goal, took out his shirt, got a red card, and the goal was offside. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy, man. Man scored a goal out of excitement, took out his shirt, got a second yellow card, and got a red card. Only for VAR to check the goal and say it's offside. The question I was asking is, what happened to the yellow card and the red card? Because since it was not a goal, they should have just say, yeah, it's not a goal, bro. The yellow card cancelled, the red card cancelled. They did not do that. They didn't do that. So for me, I think there's a possibility that might be offside. So it's offside though. Like I said it's offside. It looks like off, so, and it has been confirmed. It's off. Man, I need to do something about this. My internet. I need to switch to something else because I cannot be dealing with this crap, man. This bullshit. You want to stream and yet you can't stream. It's just annoying, man. And they will tell you 5G, 5G, this, 5 this, that. 5G bullshit. I think I might have to use hello, big up to you, Karu. How are you? How are you doing, Karu? Is it the Karu that played for Aston Villa? Don't mind me, bro. Welcome to the stream, man. Okay, this is what I need to do. OBS. Um, and it's here.